Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Jess. So Bitcoin has just had a new weekly candle close, and so we all know what that means. It's time to take a look at the charts and talk about what this most recent close means on both the short time frame and the high time frame. Before we get into all that though, make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to get regular Bitcoin analysis every Monday, Wednesday and Saturday. If you're after even more content, be sure to check out my free Telegram, and if you're after my VIP channel, you can get more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trading setups with exact entry points, targets and stop losses. Alrighty guys, so diving into the charts, let's go ahead and talk about our most recent weekly candle close. So as we can see over here, it closed as a doji candlestick, which with a quite, I wouldn't say equal, but quite high dispersion both on both the upside and the downside. We know that essentially it is printing a neutral candle and candle of indecision. We've had massive pressure on both the upside and the downside. However, the close itself didn't really show any actual conclusive behavior. So that tells us that throughout this week of price action, even though it has been very clearly quite volatile, we saw a flash all the way down to 59,000 and a move up to 64,300. Neither of those moves upwards or downwards were able to be sustained. So a doji candlestick is naturally indecisive and doesn't really tell us anything about the future trajectory other than the fact that there is a potential for a reversal. So what's going to confirm to us that reversal is a breakout on the short time frame, which we'll talk about in a second, but also across this next coming week that's ending in 7 days, we need to see a green candle print following that doji candle. That is going to confirm to us a bullish reversal over here. So essentially, following this most recent doji candlestick close, we have a very, very important week of price action ahead, where if we manage to get a bullish week, we start the trajectory of our high time frame bullish reversal, potentially leading on to a retest of this really important high time frame level of resistance, and moving on to then break out of our huge channel of consolidation. Or if we are unsuccessful in breaking out on the short time frame and facilitating that green weekly candle close, this may be the start of then a failure to sustain an upwards move and a bearish continuation on the high time frame, potentially to go on to retest our macro level of support here at the leading span A. So in order to see a breakout, we need to take a look at the shorter time frame charts. All of that starts there. So let's go over to the 4-hour time frame. Before we get into the rest of the video, guys, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, BTC. We can get 15% off all of your trading fees and up to $5,500 in sign-up rewards when you create your free account using the link down in my description box. BTC is an emerging cryptocurrency exchange committed to providing you with a secure, convenient, and highly functional trading and investment platform. Available across all countries as a non-KYC exchange, get global access to over 150 trading pairs with minimal fees on both spot and futures contracts. Join today to get $5,500 in sign-up rewards and get 15% off all of your trading fees by signing up using the link in my bio or by using the code 1GG3 when you create your account. So what exactly are we breaking out of, you guys might ask? So on the 4-hour time frame here, we can see that following this really bullish September uptrend over here, after topping out at $66,000, we developed our monthly downtrend, characterized by 3 lower highs here in our trend line, and we are currently testing it right now and it looks like potentially failing to break out. We also have a corresponding downtrend here on the RSI, showing us the decreasing bullish strength and momentum that we have experienced throughout this entire segment of price action. So when we talk about a breakout, what I mean is a breakout of, first of all, obviously the structural trend line, but the horizontal level that coincides with the prior high within that downtrend, flipping this price action here to form a higher high and develop into an uptrend on these shorter time frames. So you can see it a little bit better on the 1-hour chart. If we zoom in just a little bit, that upper level of resistance in that prior high here is at $64,000, with buy side liquidity up here at 64,500. If we break above that, that's going to facilitate a bullish continuation to the range high of our channel here, and in breaking above $66,000 is where we can expect a more high time frame bullish continuation, flipping the weekly charts to become bullish as well, more likely, and moving on to retest that upper level of resistance. Now if we move back onto the 4-hour time frame, what we can see on the RSI as well as our downtrend is also the fact that earlier on throughout the week, I think, was it this week? Yeah, earlier on this week, we developed some bullish divergence here, which has led to, obviously that's fulfilled and it moved to a retest the trend line, and that's fine, it didn't break out. But what we did see is, what we can see now is the development of a potential uptrend over here. So that tells us that while Bitcoin's traveling within this quite sideways period of price action, right? If we take a look at the 1 hour chart, we are just seriously going nowhere. We've just been shopping between 60 and 64,000 for the last month. But while we're chopping sideways and, losing that strength and momentum, we're also seeing that we are picking up accumulation towards the bottom, right? We're seeing decreasing selling pressure towards these range low retests. And that tells us that more likely than not, this period of consolidation is going to lead to a breakout, right? It is a period of consolidation and accumulation rather than distribution per se. And we can see the way that the charts are representing that in the price action actually quite well on the daily time frame. So if we just zoom over there onto the daily time frame, we can see that downtrend that we've developed throughout the month, as we've bounced repetitively on the midline of our macro structure over here, right, that huge level of support, we've been forming what might go on to become, or is becoming, a descending triangle or descending wedge structure, right? So that tells us that, moving into a descending wedge from the bottom side up, we generally form quite a bullish pattern. It is a pattern of bullish reversal rather than a breakdown. Now, obviously, all of that depends on still the breakout of this structural trend line and that prior high in the downtrend. So that's what's going to shift these charts to be bullish and hopefully facilitate a bullish weekly close this coming week. But conversely, what if we don't see that? Let's talk about what we might see instead if we continue to reject from a downtrend here, fall below this developing uptrend here on the RSI on the 4 hour time frame, and see a further correction. So if we go back to the 1 hour time frame, we can see that sort of relevant trading range, right? The sideways chop zone that we're in. And the bottom of that chop zone is our most critical level of support. That is from 59,000 to 60,000 with sell side liquidity at 58.9. So that is that key level there. If we see an hourly candle close below that sell side liquidity level and we've confirming the loss of these bases of support over here, that tells us that we're in for another correction. Now that is very likely then to take us down, first of all, to fill the rest of this little volume gap here at 58.5 thousand, and then to go on to retest the support that we established here in that September uptrend in the second retest of our trend lines. That level of significance is going to be that key target in breaking down from sell side liquidity. Now, the reason why this entire move would be so critical, I guess, and why this sell side liquidity is so important is because it also aligns with, on the daily chart, that midline level of support. So in losing that, yes, we go on to target 57,000, but if we don't bounce and reclaim that midline, that tells us then that we are in for what is more likely to become a more bearish segment of price action, moving into the lower half of our range of consolidation, as we have seen time and time again in falling below and rejecting off that midline level of support / resistance, right? So very, very crucial segment of price action coming up. And I know it's super boring, guys. I'm right here. I'm super bored as well. Like, I wake up and the price action's done absolutely nothing, but it is a really important time to be paying attention. If we do break out here, it is going to have some really, really big implications, and if we break down, similarly, very, very big implications. So huge week coming ahead, good time to be paying attention, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Alrighty guys, that is all the analysis that I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video or you learned something, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're after even more content, be sure to check out my free Telegram for daily updates as well as crypto and economic news. And if you're interested in my VIP channel, you can get more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trading setups with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. And if you are a trader, don't forget to sign up down below to BitUnext to get 15% off all of your trading fees. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!